Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Johanna. For those of you who are new here, welcome. For those of you who are returning, welcome back. In today's video, we're going to be doing day 3 of Poetspice's 12 Days of Christmas Cheer. And if that is of interest to you, please stay tuned. Okie dokie. So we are going to be working on another box in here. Just to recap, I did take a page from Opal's Forest Girls number 3, Moments Holy for Yourself. I did divide it in 12 sections, and over the next 12 days, I will be coloring a section. I do have 12 different brands of pencils, and so each section will be devoted towards that. I do not swatch. I do not test. I basically just pull some pencils and hope for the best. That was unintentional that it rhymed, but it's kind of cool that it did. All right, so let's choose another section. Today I will be using my Faber Castel Polychromos. This is another problematic pencil for me, only because I have 24 of those, so definitely more than my Hobeins and my Martes, but they're more basic or primary colors, so we're going to see. And I'm thinking we're going to do here. I don't know that I'll be able to replicate with the colors in here, because it's basically this set right here with that, because there isn't anything, I think, light enough to get a cream color. So I want to avoid having anything with the wall, although I think we can do pretty well with the floor. And then because we're not continuing this carpet here, we can actually make these carpet blues or reds or whatever. And we do have a black because there is that stove there. Yeah, so we're definitely going lighter than the picture, but we're contending with some things. So let me put this 3 down here. Let that dry, and let's pull some colors. So again, not swatching these, we're just gonna pull them out and see what we can get. I don't know if I'm pretty sure I've used all these pencils. Pretty sure I've done other challenges with them. And so we've got the stove, we've got her legs, but it's not skin tone because it looks like she's wearing leggings and socks because they're 2 different colors. And underneath the Christmas tree. And if you're wondering why I'm just not keeping the pencil case on the desk, I don't have enough room to do that. So this is what I do when I'm coloring. I just pick a bunch of pencils, actually usually not as many as this, but there's different elements we need to do, and then just coloring. If I need to, I'll put back or I'll pull more, but that's why I generally only use 1 pencil set at a time, so I don't have a variety of different pencils on my desk. Okay, so the hardest thing is we're going to need to do some color matching with the floor. I don't know how yellow this is, but this, I don't know if this pulls more sherbet. Yeah, I don't like that. That pulls a little better, I suppose. It's far enough away. I don't know if you guys have thought about that fatal flaw of doing this the way that I'm doing it. And if you're new, I'm not doing this because I love to challenge myself and drive myself crazy, although I think I do sometimes. It's more, I need to know how my pencils feel in my different books. And when you watch pencil reviews, they will tell you how they layer, how they blend. If they're like these or the Hobeins, they'll talk about light fastness and all that, and that's great for some people. That information is actually pretty useless for me, because ultimately, how do they feel in my hand on the different paper? And I actually will be doing something like this, probably not on camera, but in my other opal book, because I'm not going to assume that between publishing and between different years, even if it is the same publisher, that the paper has remained constant. Because again, I might assume, oh yeah, I can just use this key, but the paper is slightly different, either more toothy, less toothy, and then I don't get the same kind of feel in my hands. Yeah, that's definitely yellow. So let's see if we can kind of dull that down. I'm putting some orange, and I like to do it on the flat of the pencil just because I get more down. I will be doing 12 of these videos. And as you can tell, I'm generally talking through the whole thing. I do prefer videos that either have ambient music or more so if they're talking, because then I just throw it on in the background while I'm watching and I can do other things. Okay. Their perspective is weird because the focal point is coming down this way, so that the focal point is this, because if you notice where the lines are coming down here, but that's fine, we'll deal. And let's see if we can make some consistency by bringing in some of that brownish red. And as I mentioned, and will continue to mention, I don't have natural light. And so I do have, what, 5 different lights on right now. So the shadowing is going to be a bit insane. And I'm actually not assuming that you guys are coloring in the same picture with me. It's one of the reasons why I'm not telling you the colors, because to be honest, if I were you, I would just use one brand of something. Make it easier, because then you don't have issues of consistency. But also, some of my pencils don't have numbers or names. And this really isn't about how to get the same effect. It's more about, this is how I kind of tackle pages. Okay. Maybe this can tone it down a little. I actually like the feeling of the Hobeins better than this. There are a few books that I like the Polychromos in. I knew they were an oil pencil. They are harder. I think they're made for layering. I'm not a huge fan of layering. I mean, in this project, I'm definitely going to have to, because some of my pencil sets are limited. But yeah, it's not a go-to for me. There definitely is a mismatch between the two. And I don't know if I have the right amount of brown tones to correct that. In fact, we're gonna stop, because yeah. So let's go in here. So I want to come in with the gray, just because I don't know how inky black it is, and I think it might be easier to build up color if I have some color down. I've got a dark brown there. I'm actually going to put gray here. It's going to meld in the picture for now, but I'm going to put brown on top of this. Again, we're just trying to get some richer color payoff. So let's do that before I forget. And I'm not actually using a lot of pressure. I will come back and do that, but I want to remember that this is a brown thing and the thing behind it is black. Okay, and then we'll come in with the black. And I'm actually going to put more pressure now because I want to create a highlight in that area right there. So it's got some color in it. Actually give it some texture, but it definitely is more visible now that we're doing some, some colors there. So let's add some warmth to these bricks, or no, these logs. Edge of the page is driving me crazy. And then this one, because it's the farthest back. And then under here, this would be darker. And we'll use this to just add some color in. Okay, and the basket is a bit, sorry, I'm just trying to get it so it's easy for me to color. Maybe hard for you guys to see. And I'm not going to go with the same colors of her outfit as she's wearing there because I think her green jumper blends too much in with the tree. And I think I want the rug or the tree. I couldn't remember this in the other video. I can't remember it now, but I know this tree skirt, that's what it is. I want the tree skirt to be blue. I might regret that later, but again, problem for future Johanna. And if I were a proper, well, no, I don't want to say that. I'm a proper channel. Most of the channels you'll see who do these kind of coloring videos, if they're using pencils, well, one, they wouldn't use multiple brands, not like this, but also they would do the little rounds. They would press a lot harder because they don't like the white of the page showing through. I personally like it to look like it's from a coloring page. And so the white of it just kind of plays that for me. Sorry, coloring and talking is not a strong point of mine. Because I've seen people who do works that once they're done, it looks like it's a magazine or it's glossy because it is just so pristinely colored that it's hard to believe that it actually is a coloring page. I just need this to be fun. So if it shows through, it shows through. No big deal. Okay, well that looks okay. I'm kind of stuck on her stockings though. So let's work on something else while I'm thinking about it. From a coloring standpoint, these aren't bad. Probably give it like a 3.5. My hands aren't as tired as with the Mont. I feel okay. But like I said, my polys are not a go-to. So it's another set that I don't have the complete set, nor will I be getting it. I know some people, their Polychromos are their ride or die, but honestly, I think I prefer my Brute Funers than my Prismas. But that could be just because of the way I color. There definitely is more choices there, but they're also softer pencils. And you're probably not going to see a lot, if any, pencil sharpening in this, unless it's so dull that I can't color. I don't actually sharpen my pencils to keep a point. It goes outside the line. It's just artistic. You might have noticed I'm a bit of a lazy person. And actually, that's very derogatory towards myself. I'm not lazy as much as what I want from this is to be fun. And I don't feel the need for any kind of unnecessary steps. Because it's definitely more of a process-oriented project for me than an outcome-oriented project. So I'm just going to darken this up. So I guess this is casting a shadow. I'm going to darken up here. And now I'm kind of going by the picture where it's darker. I can actually bring in some gray to mute that down. Same with under the basket. Let's give this a bit more texture. Just doing some squiggles. And we can do a pattern here, and it's mostly because it's so small. It shouldn't be problematic. And then a third color like that. Yep, floor is still a problem. We still have her legs to do. I'm debating whether or not I want to do that in grays and black like in the picture, or if I want to do it in brighter colors. And if you're wondering if on day 12 I'll come back and fix any problematic areas, that would be a no. Because I'm not keeping these pencils out so that I can come back and try to fix things. So we are definitely doing a one and done. Now that might make the final product a bit wonky. I mean, already you can see the inherent difficulty to try to color match, especially when one has a very limited palette and then the next one doesn't have the same tones. But again, it's helping me figure out whether or not I like these pencils in this book. I think we're just gonna go for just neutral. And I'm going to flub a little because her skirt actually comes in here, but I don't know what brand I'm going to be doing up here, and I don't know if I can recreate it. And so we're just going to make that gray. And darken up underneath there. And darken up there. Oh, well that's carpet. What is that? It's not the tree trunk. It would be too wide. It might be a present. So let's just hide it and make that more carpet. And that's what I'll do, especially if I don't exactly know what things are. I'll just make the executive decision and just color it with something else nearby, and then it'll just recede. Just putting a little more definition so you can see her legs. And I'm going to pull a green because I want her to have green socks. That sounds like something a young girl would do, right? Put on green socks when she's decorating the Christmas tree with her doggy and squirrel friend. This one is definitely one of those pencils that could do better if it were sharper, but it does well enough. So we've got all of the elements. I'm feeling better about the floors. This really will be the tester, but again, problem for another day. So number 3 were my polys, and I'm thinking this was a solid 3.5. All right, well that's it for this video. Again, I'd love to know in the comments below whether you're participating. What do you think of the floors? Is it just driving you bonkers or not? I'd actually love to know in the comments below. All right, guys, well, that's it for me for now. And as always, aloha.